Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Haglind, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks beautiful Bryant Lake Regional Park, located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It's another great day here in the Twin Cities, and I am so grateful to be here with you today. I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Beth Siebenaler. She is the founder of Pep In My Step, and she will be sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training specifically designed for our senior population. During her years of providing home health physical therapy, Beth witnessed a desperately unmet need for effective, affordable, and ongoing fitness services for older adults, leading her to create Pep In My Step. Skeletal muscle does far more than simply move the body, playing a critical role in overall health and longevity in ways many people don't realize. Whether you are homebound in assisted living or active and wanting to keep your independence and strength for years to come, Pep In My Step's personalized services will optimize your health and quality of life. You'll enjoy listening to my conversation with Beth Siebenaler today. I want to thank all of you that leave us messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate hearing from you, and we welcome your comments, questions, and topics for future shows. Also, if you are interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. You can also contact us on our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests as well as listen to our previous shows, and we look forward to hearing from you. We are adding new listeners to the show each week, not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our radio shows on the AM 950 radio website, and we can also be found on your favorite streaming service, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. If you have a question for us today, there are two ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our friendly show producer, Patrick, will get your call in the air. Our phone number is 952-946-6205. Once again, 952-946-6205, or you can directly text us your questions at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry. If you missed our contact numbers, I'll repeat them throughout the show. All right. I am so excited to welcome my guest for today's show, Beth Siebenaler, founder of Pep In My Step, in-home senior fitness services. Welcome to the show, Beth.
Thanks, Ken. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, it's so interesting how I meet guests, and running across you here just in my normal day-to-days recently at one of the events that we host, and learned about what you're doing. I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
My world is Medicare, Medicaid, those kind of things, insurance.
Yes.
Things with helping support what we do in hospice. And when I learned about what you do, I thought, oh, that is very innovative, because I see people make progress as they're recovering from a major surgery or a fall or all the things that happen to us. And they make progress, and then they slowly fall back.
Exactly.
And I thought, it didn't until you explained to me what you do, I thought, oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense to just take really kind of, a personal trainer almost to come right to your home and help you. So before we get into all this fun stuff here, tell us a bit. The audience loves to learn about who the guest is. Tell us a bit about your background, and then what inspired you to create your own company, Pep In My Step.
Sure. So I have been a physical therapist assistant for 12 years. Right after graduating, I went straight to doing travel contract jobs. So my first one was out in Delaware. I lived in Ocean City, Maryland, and worked in Delaware. And I walked into my first day as a new grad, and they handed me a schedule with 7 hours and 15 minutes of treatment time, which is a completely full day. No orientation, no easing into it. It was a sink or swim situation. And that's kind of how it can be in the travel world. But that's kind of how I've been ever since, and it works out okay for me. So I did that job, and then I ended up traveling for 6 years around the country doing travel jobs in a lot of different locations, a lot of different settings. I lived in a few different areas in California. I lived in Washington State. So a lot of really great experiences. But what I discovered during that time is that home health was my favorite setting. So when I moved back to Minnesota a few years ago, I have 5 siblings here. My parents are both here, so I had to move back to settle down. And I took a regular home health physical therapy job since I knew that was the setting I wanted to be in. And after doing that for a few more years here, I just kept seeing a need that I didn't want to continue to ignore. And what would happen is I would be seeing someone for their physical therapy. I would let them know that they're going to be discharged next week. And they would say, well, is there any way I can keep on seeing you? I'll pay for it. Or I would have a patient's, I saw a lot of people in memory care. And so I would be talking with like their daughter, and she would say, I want this to keep going as long as possible. Like, how can we keep this going? Because in that instance, I had gotten her dad walking, and he had not been walking at all whatsoever with staff. And, to see someone that's just confined to their wheelchair all day, every day, that to me is tragic. And she recognized that too. So that's why she was like, I'll pay for it. I just want this to keep on going. Um, Another situation that I would see was hospice. A lot of times we'd get a referral, we would open and start physical therapy, and then it kind of was determined that the patient was really more appropriate for hospice. But they would be so bummed to realize that therapy had to step out the minute
Right.
that, yeah, and that frustrated me because I'm like, hospice, this is, holistic, and it's about quality of life, and like, oh, but don't move anymore. I mean, that just should be, I think, like a basic need to be met, is to have someone come in and keep helping with whatever level of movement they're at. So it was kind of just seeing all of these things that I was like, okay, I need to do something. And I put it off for a little while after having my son last year. He turns 2 next month, actually. So a couple years ago, it was after having my son and being out for maternity leave. I thought, you know what? Now's the time. Instead of going back to my regular job, I'm going to take the leap and go full time with Pep In My Step. And so it's been great. And I just want to mention too, with the name, when I was trying to come up with a name, I wanted something that obviously was related to exercise, but I also wanted something that conveyed my attitude and my cheerfulness. And because it's so much more than just doing the work. It's a whole picture of seeing these clients, and I want to make their day brighter. And so that's why I landed on Pep in My Step, because I felt like not only does it show movement, but it kind of showed something happy. And so far, when I've told my clients the name, most of them kind of smile, and they're like, oh, that's a good name. That's clever. Or I had a guy recently he's in memory care, and I came back to see him, and he was like, what was your name again? You have a catchy name. And I said, well, my name's Beth. And he goes, no, your business name. And I said, oh, Pep in My Step. And he's like, that's it. That's great. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting over the years and all the guests I've had on the show. it's so interesting. There's a common theme with people that decide to go on their own. They see an opportunity, but it's also driven by why isn't that being done to help people? It's not about them.
Yeah.
It's about how can we give quality of life
Yeah.
to other people? And the system is the system. And I mean, like Medicare, there's no limit to OT and PT visits, but there is a financial limitation, and then you have to get re-qualified, and it's a lot of work to do that. Where once you've done your Medicare PT, OT, ST, speech therapy, all of it, then it gives you a chance to say, okay, that's fine. Now let's work with somebody who this is their sole reason for having their business and why they feel like they exist here on Earth. So, all right, it's time for a short break, Beth. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Beth Siebenaler, founder of Pep In My Step. And she's here sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training specifically designed for the senior population. If you have a question for Beth, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Rebuilding Together Minnesota delivers critical home repairs and safety modifications to low-income Minnesotans because everyone deserves a safe place to live, not just those who can afford it. If you've been putting off repairs because the cost feels impossible, know this. Their services come at no cost to homeowners. They focus on safe and healthy home solutions that keep older adults independent, support families, and strengthen entire neighborhoods. And there's no catch. Apply during their application window, open January 1st through March 31st, 2026, to be considered for services. When one neighbor struggles, it impacts us all. Turn to Rebuilding Together Minnesota if you need support with critical repairs or safety modifications on your home. Apply now at rtmn.org and select Apply for help. Or call 651-776-4273. Rebuilding Together Minnesota, where neighbors help neighbors.
Hi, I'm Mary T. Caring for others runs deep in my family. My grandmother, Rosa, was a nurse who cared for people in their homes more than a century ago. Inspired by her compassion, my mother, Margaret, and I founded the Mary T. family of companies nearly 50 years ago. Today, we continue that legacy across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Arizona, providing senior living, assisted living with memory care, home health, hospice care, rental housing, and support for people with disabilities. Each service is personal, creative, and focuses on the unique needs of those we serve. We also believe in joy and community, which is why we opened Crooner Supper Club in Fridley, a place to celebrate life with music, laughter, and connection. At Mary T., we're proud to be a Minnesota family company rooted in compassion, inclusion, and respect. And proud supporters of AM 950 and the values that this station represents. Visit MaryTinc.com to learn more.
Congratulations to Mary T., named one of the most admired CEOs of 2026 by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal.
Are you planning a gathering for your family, friends, or work? Then reserve space at the Park Tavern. The Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces, and they can accommodate any size party, large or small. They have bowling, food, and beverage packages for any budget. And remember, there are no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. And for more information or to schedule an event, call 952-929-6810 or go to parktavern.net. Make your next get-together the best get-together with help from the Park Tavern.
At Schroman Law, we provide more than just legal documents. We walk alongside our clients to ensure their wishes and legacies are being honored with every choice. And we do this while recognizing that this process can be emotional and weighty. Our team includes attorneys, as well as a grief coach and a published writer ready to assist with legacy letters and extra wishes to go alongside your healthcare directive. Contact us today to learn more at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Beth Siebenaler. She is the founder of Pep In My Step, and she is sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training specifically designed for the senior population. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or you can just give us a text at 612-999-3426. Now, Beth, how can our listeners contact you if they have questions or want more information?
Yeah, the best way is to call 651-621-9589. They can also visit our website at pepseniorfitness.com.
All right, pepseniorfitness.com. And folks, we'll say that throughout the show here, so don't worry if you missed it. And the number is 651-621-9589 to get a hold of Beth. And one thing I want to mention before you get back into some of the conversation we have from the last segment regarding Medicare is that we talk about fitness. And I wonder if that can be confusing to people a little bit, that you're helping people recover, you're helping people get movement back, and it's not like maybe people think, oh, fitness, that means we're gonna run around the block or, or we're gonna do push-ups and sit-ups or whatever. It's much more. It's
broad.
beyond
Yeah.
broad. Yeah. I mean, it can include whatever
Yes.
the client is interested in.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, Ken, because I do see a really wide range of abilities with my patients now. So I see people that are, you actually don't even have to be a senior, to be honest. There's nothing that says, oh, you're not quite 65. Sorry, I can't work with you. So as we've chatted personally in the past, I am very into strength training and fitness. I've done some fitness competitions in the past. So I can work with people at a pretty high level. Yeah. So I have a lady that is in her 60s, and she's very mobile. She's driving, she's active. She actually just got married last Saturday. I had the pleasure of going to her wedding. It was beautiful. And so she contacted me because she had lost a lot of weight. She had been through breast cancer, and she was deconditioned. And she just wanted to get some strength back. And she didn't want to go to the gym. And a lot of people don't, and that's okay. And so, she has me scheduled on her planner. She's very busy, but it's in her planner. I'm coming to her house. I'm going to see her. And she's been a really fun one to see because I get to do some of that like higher level stuff that I'm really personally have fun with. And then, on the other end, I also see people that are on hospice and nearing the end of life, and for them the exercise might just be some gentle stretching, some breathing exercises, if possible getting standing. I'm really passionate about not leaving people to sit or lie all day, and I've seen the pressure ulcers that can happen from that. So even having me come in to get them up and just do static standing, and if that's the exercise, that can still greatly improve their quality of life. So yeah, I see a lot of different people, and I guess real quick before I could just keep running with that, but I want to make sure I don't miss the what we left off last time about the Medicare coverage, because not only is it capped at an amount, but there has to be a proof of progress being made for them to continue paying for it. And a lot of times people or, a family would be like, well, yeah, but I'm going to get weaker if you stop coming. So even if I'm not making progress, and even if this is my max level, I'm going to slide right back down from that if I don't keep going with something. And that's not an option with the Medicare physical therapy. And so that's where I come in. Another thing is, under the Medicare physical therapy, you have to be homebound. So it's happened where we start seeing someone and they're like, yeah, I went for coffee with, and it was like, you're done, discharged, you're not homebound anymore. And so, there's a lot of different reasons. And, nothing against it, obviously, but it's just so nice to be on my own without having any of those restrictions and guidelines. And another thing that I have really loved about what I'm doing now is that I don't have to spend so much time documenting. So different different companies have different documentation systems. As I saw, working in so many different locations, some of them are tougher than others, but the one that I was using with my last job was it was a lot. So one of my coworkers actually counted, and it took 52 clicks to complete one visit note. And I'm like, good for her for counting that, because it was like people were frustrated. They're like, this is insane. And then you also had to type in 4 narrative sections. So like when you think of that, that is a lot. And you're trying to get as much as you can done in the visit, because if you don't, then you come home at night and you have loads of documentation to do. So that was something that I was really excited for doing this and not needing that, because it gives me so much more time to engage with the patient. And I knew that would be meaningful, but I honestly didn't even realize the level of difference that has made. I actually had a lady say to me, I love that you're not on your computer all the time. I feel like we're really getting stuff done. And so they do notice that, and even when I was on my computer, I would always try to be listening, but your brain is only half listening, and then you're half doing your other stuff. And so I've just been able to get to know my patients so much better and just have that relationship with them. And I feel so blessed for that, because there's been multiple times where I learned something valuable from one of my clients just from the conversation. And I allow time for that. Like I'm generous with my time, and if we spend, half an hour talking, if that's what's best for them that day, then that's an option too. I had one person, I went in and I said, what do you want to work on today? And she said, I really want to sit in the sun, because she was in assisted living and she wouldn't be able to get outside on her own. So we took her up to second floor, went out on the patio, and we did leg exercises, but we did them sitting outside in the sun. And she talked about that for days later, how good it felt to sit in the sun. And so I can hear we're already almost out of time. I feel like I could just keep talking. But so yes, I'm here for my patients, and I'm here to serve them, and I don't have to prove progress. I don't have to jump through these hoops and make sure we're only working on these specific things. We can do whatever is going to make their quality of life the best.
Fantastic. All right, we'll be right back, folks. You're listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. If you have any questions for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hey, Francois, have you made any New Year's resolutions?
Non.
Well, mine is to learn some French. Can you help me?
Bien sûr.
How do you say this? Can I buy you?
Est-ce que je peux t'acheter
Macaroons from Nicolette's.
des macarons de Nicolette?
Now, say it all at once.
Est-ce que je peux t'acheter des macarons de Nicolette?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have a box of raspberry rose, blueberry cheesecake, and chocolate.
Mais c'est quoi ça?
Thank you, Francois. You can order them online at nicoletsmacaroons.com or visit their store in Plymouth. Merci.
In today's uncertain times, Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces believes that a fire can add comfort and security to your life. At Woodland, our mission is to connect you to a place for fire that works.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces installed our wood stove years ago, and we still love it. Watching the fire, feeling the heat, is a joy we experience every day. And knowing we have a reliable heat source makes us feel snug and safe.
There are many choices in wood, gas, or electric. For diversity in styles, at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, we display over 180 models and 35 of of these are burning displays. You can experience the glow and warmth of a live fire.
Whether wood, gas, or electric, find a fire that warms your heart, a fire that adds comfort and security to your life. See the many choices at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, located on the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis, and online at woodlandstoves.com.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces since 1977. For over 48 years, our slogan has been, out of the ordinary products and services. Our mission is to get you a fireplace that works in your life.
Winter reading, losing yourself under a blanket with the fireplace blazing away while submerging yourself in a book and trying to finish just one more page? Winter nights are the perfect time to read, and that's where Next Chapter Booksellers can help. They're independently owned and have all the bestsellers and new releases. Not sure what to get? Their friendly booksellers are great at recommendations. That's your winter reading headquarters. Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand. More at nextchapterbooksellers.com.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Today, cloudy with a high of 12, then tonight, cloudy with a low of 1 above. Pick up your elegant box of French macarons from Nicolette's Macarons in Plymouth, conveniently located off Highway 169 and 36th Avenue. Check out the store in person or place your online order at nicolettesmacarons.com. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Saturday.
Welcome back, everyone.
Just
You are
can't
listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Beth Siebenaler. She is the founder of Pep In My Step. What a great name for a business. And she is sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training specifically designed for the senior population. And we talked a little bit about it's much more than personal training. There's a whole bunch of things that go into this, and maybe we'll talk about that more later on in the show. But anyway, she's here to talk about that. So if you have questions for Beth, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Okay, before we return to our conversation with Beth, I want to mention this radio show is brought to you in part each week by Minnesota Hospice. Minnesota Hospice is an independent, locally owned medical practice serving our Twin Cities communities with comprehensive end-of-life health care. The team at Minnesota Hospice provides patients and family members with award-winning end-of-life health care services. You may not be aware that hospice brings compassionate medical, social, emotional, and spiritual services to your home with typically no cost to you or your family. Please do not wait to learn how hospice care can benefit you and your loved ones. If you have any questions regarding end-of-life care or support, please contact the compassionate team of experts at Minnesota Hospice. They are available to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and answered by a registered nurse. Their phone number is 952-898-1022. Once again, their number is 952-898-1022, or simply visit them online at minnesotahospice.com. All right. Beth, how can our listeners contact you and your organization if they have questions or want more information?
Yeah, they can call 651-621-9589, or they can visit pepseniorfitness.com.
All right, that's great. And folks, I have known Beth here for a little while. We met at an event recently, and she is just delightful. You've got to meet her if you have any.
Thanks,
you know,
Ken.
have her. Well, just go get a consult. Just have her stop in.
Yep.
You'd be surprised at the level of depth that she has to see where problems can be arising or things that she can then head off to keep people independent and mobile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is. We forget sometimes. We take it for granted.
We do.
That,
Yeah.
hey, I get up and go.
Yeah,
and get in
exactly.
the car. But I tell you, when you lose that, you lose a lot, and it's important to keep it. So I know you got lots to talk about
I
here,
do.
sarcopenia and all these medical terms. So,
Yeah.
so you jump in here.
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing that up because I do a lot of cueing, a lot of verbal cues, a lot of tactile cues, a lot of education. So you're right that, with a lot of people, as they get older, something simple like getting up from the chair, it can just take some education and some guidance on the form and the technique, and they can be much safer at doing it. I do a lot of fall prevention education with gait training and walking. Just with the 12 years in this field, there's been so much that I've just figured out as I've worked with these people in trial and error, and just even things that I've just come up with that I'm not aware of anyone else doing that I've had good results from. And so I do want to talk about a little bit more about the types of people I see and why this is so important. So I see a lot of Parkinson's people. If you just look up what is the best way to slow the progression of Parkinson's disease, the answer is exercise. So for that type of condition, it is just vital that they keep working with someone who is skilled with that and knows how to keep them going. And the festinating gait and all of these issues that can present themselves, knowing how to work through that and have that level of skill and that education to help them. And then, so we mentioned sarcopenia. That just means age-related muscle loss. People are losing, after the age of 50, on average, you lose 2% of your muscle mass a year.
Oh, so in 10 years, that's 10%.
That adds up.
Yeah, 20% in 10 years.
If you're and if you're past the age of 70, it's an even higher percentage than that. And so, for a funny example, a few years ago, I was with my siblings at my parents' house, and we were talking about exercise, and we said, Mom, I don't think you could do a single push-up. And she goes, I could do one push-up. And she gets down on the floor and she goes, oh my gosh, I can't do a push-up. And so you don't necessarily notice, but this is the science and the research is that past the age of 50, it's part of aging. You are losing muscle. So if you are not working out and lifting weights, then you are losing muscle. But the great thing is you can prevent that by doing this weight training and this strengthening. And why is that so important? Obviously we know we need muscle to move around and to get up and to walk and etc. But I think people don't realize that our musculoskeletal system is almost an organ in itself. So skeletal muscle releases something called myokines when you're activating it. And these are proteins and peptides that function like hormones in the body. So when you're engaging muscle, it's sending these signals to a bunch of other organs in your body. And there's over 600 of these that have been identified. So this is just fascinating stuff. I was doing a presentation at an assisted living when I was kind of looking into this, and I just kept going because it's this is so interesting. And I think people don't realize that. They realize you need muscle to move, but they don't realize that healthy muscle means a healthier brain. Some of these myokines contribute to neurogenesis, which is the creation of new neurons in your brain.
Right.
So like preventing dementia and bone health, bone density. There's these little myokines that are specifically designed to communicate with osteoblasts to create healthy bone. I mean, the vascular system, insulin, your metabolism, your immune system. Again, there's 600 of these. So they're like talking to your whole body. And I like to say that skeletal muscle is the organ of longevity. Because if you have healthy skeletal muscle, that's going to help create healthy organs throughout your body. And so that's why this is just so important. And, you know, whether it's working with me or with somebody else or doing it on your own, you know, this stuff really matters. And I feel like the days turn into months and the months turn into years, and people mean to be doing it. And then before you know it, you get down on the floor and you can't get back up. And you're like, when did that happen? You know?
And I saw you do a demonstration on how to efficiently get up off the floor. And I think if people just would have you come out for one session to just show them and work with them how to get up off the floor, that's a huge peace of mind for the children, the adult children.
Yes, that's a good
parents.
point.
I mean, so there's just so many things that you have learned over the years that can make really life and death situations.
That's I never even thought of that, but that's true. If someone, if they're living alone, especially not in assisted living, to have that understanding of a safe and correct way to get up is
even
really
if you're living
important.
with somebody, let's say, who has dementia, and we have so many caregivers that they don't think about taking care of themselves. They're taking care of their loved one. And so again, it's not just for the patient, it's for the caregiver too, to have you come out and just make sure they're staying healthy and conditioned and understand, because someone who has dementia is not going to be able to call EMS when someone's laying on the floor and they can't get up. All of a sudden, it's a shocker, like you say. I can do one push-up, and you can't.
Yeah, and that's why this is just so important. And I've gotten such wonderful feedback from family members. You know, I've had them say, like, you're making such a difference. I had one Parkinson's lady who was seeing physical therapy, and then they discharged, and she saw me for a period of time. And then something happened where physical therapy was able to come back in, and they told me that the therapist said, "Oh, I can tell you've been working with Beth." You know, so it really does. And, you know, they started at once a week, and then they went up to twice a week, and now they're talking about doing 3 times a week because they observe like that it really is working and it's making such a big difference. And, you know, if you have a parent that is just sitting all day, if they're sitting all day in their recliner, if they're afraid to go for a walk outside, I mean, having me come and work with them, I just think is one of the best gifts you could give to them for their quality of life, their happiness, and their health.
Well, people, I don't think they realize how important technique is in walking.
Yeah, there's so much.
I've seen you do that and understand feet spacing and heel strikes and getting your knees up. And it's surprising how the mechanics of just walking can deteriorate over time, especially if you're sedentary.
Absolutely. And that's such an important part in the safety and even feeling good, you know, having that good posture and everything. So, yeah, like I said before, I mean, I'm really big on education and verbal cues. And that's why, you know, that's why you would want me, is because I have that skill to be able to provide that level of service.
Well, it's really a holistic approach from what I've learned about you. Is you can't take a holistic approach to your training, education, raising awareness, and then you leave people with, here's your homework.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just, well, wait till I come back again this week. Here's some things you can do on your own.
Yeah, I will always give people things that they can do on their own. Depending on the person, it may be a different thing, but there's always something that they can work on. I had one lady who I said, you know, you totally know these. Like, you're really good. We've done the education. You could do these on your own. And she goes, yeah, but I won't. And so I just want to mention to people too, like, if you just need accountability and motivation, that's a valid reason to have someone come. If you know, hey, you know what? I could be doing this, but I know that I'm not going to. That's
Right.
fair.
Right. Well, that's why people get personal trainers
Yeah.
when they're not in a situation where they're trying to either recover or rehab or correct. It's the accountability.
Mhm.
Plus the thing that you provide, as I've gotten to know you, you're just so delightful. You're just, I mean, you're very engaging.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's why a lot of people call you back, is that
Yep.
they look forward to having that social side
Yes.
of accountability and
Absolutely.
education and awareness, and again, helping them get their freedom back and their independence back.
Mhm. And I just want to mention that I can also see people concurrently with physical therapy.
Okay,
So we can
yes.
talk about that more. But
Yes, let's do that. All right, it's time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Beth Siebenaler. She is the founder of Pep In My Step, and she's sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training. And this training is much broader than what you think it is. And it's specifically designed for the senior population, although everyone would benefit from her services. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hey, it's Beth from Big Hill Books. Yes, the happiest bookstore in the Twin Cities. When the world feels too serious, we say grab a book, pet a cat, and let Gigi the shop dog remind you joy still exists. Because reading and smiling are both acts of resistance. Find us at 405 Penn Avenue South in the lovely Bryn Mawr neighborhood. Or visit bighillbooks.com. Be sure to say hello and tell the gang you heard about us on AM 950.
There really is no place like home. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Home Health. When you're faced with an illness or an injury, being able to stay at home and receive care is important. Our home health offers a wide range of services, including skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapies, aides, homemakers, in-home respite care, and 24/7 live-in care. We'll work closely with your primary care provider to come up with an individualized plan for you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I've been telling you about my friends at Snap Construction, who are arguably the most well-reviewed exterior construction company in the metro. Don't just take my word for it. Take a look at all their reviews online. Winter is the most cost-effective time of the year to complete your construction project. A majority of Minnesotans choose to have their work completed on their home in the summer when they should be enjoying the weather. As a result, the demand for labor in the summer is much higher. The most cost-effective way to improve or restore your home is in the winter due to the lower demand. Right now, Snap Construction is offering an additional 30% off of labor to the AM 950 listeners on your next construction project between now and the end of February. Call 612-333-SNAP and mention AM 950 for an additional 30% off. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Don't wait to get a free estimate by calling 612-333-SNAP or find them online at snapconstruction.com. Financing options available.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067, or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Cafe Latte offers made-from-scratch soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts.
So come check out their pizza and wine bar, or get a treat from the bakery made fresh daily. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout, along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is a very special guest, Beth Siebenaler. She is the founder of Pep In My Step, and she's sharing how she's using her background in physical therapy to provide in-home personal training specifically designed for the senior population. Although her services are not limited to seniors, anybody can benefit from her expertise in helping you stay mobile, stay independent, have freedom in your life. It's really important, and we've talked on a number of those things throughout the show. So here's the final segment. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Beth, how can our listeners contact you and your organization if they have questions or want more information?
They can call 651-621-9589 or visit pepseniorfitness.com.
All right, that's fantastic. And we got the last segment here. So what pearls of topics do you want to talk about now?
Yeah, just to wrap up from before and going over some of the people that I work with, I just want to mention something that surprised me actually was how many times I get a call from a client's son or daughter and the patient is on physical therapy, but they say, I want it more often. So home health physical therapy is usually once or twice a week. And for some of these people, that is not enough to get them back where they're trying to get to. And so, for example, it was a PT that I used to work with, text me or call me and say, I have this guy, I've been seeing him for a while. He's not made much progress, but his son really wants to get him back home. Could you come and see him on the days that I'm not seeing him? And so we did that. We worked with him for about a month coming in so he was using a mechanical transfer. He was he was using like an easy stand with staff. So only twice a week is he getting up. And if you think about it, that to make progress, if you're just sitting all day for the other days, that's just not enough to really build up that strength to make that progress. So we came in and saw him on the days that PT didn't. And then when the physical therapist came back to do the reassessment, he texted me and he said, I'm shocked. He is like a stand pivot transfer. I can't believe how much better he's gotten. And we were able to get him back home. And that's just one example. There's been other situations as well that I've seen the patient on the days that physical therapy doesn't come. And that can really make a big difference if it's something where there was an illness or a stroke or a broken hip or something that really set them back and they just are really trying to get back to where they were. That can be really beneficial. And that's something that's so nice about Pep In My Step and what I'm doing is, it's all private pay. There is no rules or hoops to jump through or sorry, we can't because of this. So I work with physical therapy, supplementing that, and that can work out really well.
Talk to us briefly, the last few minutes here, confidence. What I've seen with people who get a setback, a broken hip, a surgery, an illness, whatever it is, they lose their confidence in their ability to get back to what's called baseline, which is back where you were before the incident occurred. Talk about that, how important getting that confidence, because whether we think we can or think we can't, we're right.
Exactly.
So I know that you really do a great job of helping people regain their confidence.
Yeah, that is a big part of it, and I think it's natural, like after having something traumatic, like a fall, that is very traumatic. So I don't blame them for being hesitant. And so what I do is just a lot of work on stability and being confident in, let's just use a broken hip because that actually is the most common thing that I see is trusting that leg. Because sometimes I do some little tests to kind of figure it out because sometimes I see where they're not transferring weight onto that side and they're not taking a full step on the other side because they don't want to put all of their weight. So I have them do some other exercises just to test if it is true weakness or inability, or if it's just habit and fear. And more times than not, it's just habit and fear. And so that's where I kind of incorporate some specific exercises to rebuild having trust on that leg. And it would be hard without being able to see me, but there is a whole bunch of different exercises that I've figured out to help people work on. And whether it's that or something else, I do a lot of balance work. I'm really big into balance. Just standing and not holding on, or standing with eyes closed and getting into head turns as you watched me do the other day. There's a lot of different ways that we can work on balance, and just sharpening that up a little bit can really help with confidence as well.
Yeah, I think if people can just feel like they're making progress. I think sometimes when you get setback and you're in bed, you're in a TCU environment, and everyone's kind of waiting on you.
Yeah,
and,
it's easy to just fall into that as your new norm.
Yes, right. And then again, are you able to get discharged and go back and live independently? Many times you can't. They won't let you because you haven't made enough progress.
Yes.
So again, just give Beth a call. All right, we have about 1 minute left here, Beth. Anything else we want to cover?
Oh, goodness.
I know. It's a whole other show.
I could talk for so long because I am so passionate about this. And, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, I knew that I would like this, but I get to say that I love what I do. I truly do. I love my clients. I love what I'm doing. And I just feel so blessed and so grateful to be able to say that. And I think just the takeaways, if you want to live healthy and age well, strength training is non-negotiable. And again, no matter what age you're at, there is something that can be done. And it is so worth it. It has the return on investment.
It's huge.
Huge.
It's life-changing.
Exactly. And so give me a call. I'm happy to talk things through with you. There's no commitment. You can try one session, see what you think. And I think it's just worth it for everyone. And, again, just the feedback that I've got from my clients and my patients, going on a walk with someone and getting them back to the room, and they look at me and they say, "Can we do that again?" Because it felt so good and they hadn't been able to do that. I mean, that just makes me so happy. And I'd love to meet any of you. And if it's not me, it's just worth it to move and to get going with some exercise.
All right, well, let's give Beth a call. You can reach her at pepseniorfitness.com. And what your phone number is?
651-621-9589.
All right. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you, Beth, for being here. What a great show.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
We hope you enjoyed today's show, everyone. Please contact us with any questions or comments you have regarding today's conversation. You can reach us anytime by voice or text at 612-999-3426. Join us again next Saturday at noon for another broadcast. And thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.